I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm sick of seeing my lid as well. It's not a good look. I reckon I'm about a month or two away from turning into 16-year-old Justin Bieber, and I've been there, I've done that, and I don't want to go there again. But if you do fancy seeing my lid more regularly, follow me on Instagram. The tag's probably here somewhere, and you can also slide into my DMs and let me know who you want me to source and what you want me to source, and I can do so accordingly. The last video did pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. It got semi-banged, people semi-complained, fantastic, love to see it, and it got a good response from everyone. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Realistically, like goals are gonna be a bit of a ting on videos going forward, so slap on 120 likes on this one, and again, I'll continue to source, because it lets me know that you actually like this kind of content, because if you don't like it, I'm not gonna make it. If you do like it, I'll make more of it. Bless. Not atting anyone specifically today, I'm atting the industry as a whole, which is even more of a meme, because it means I can piss off multiple people rather than just targeting the audience of a certain influencer. Basically, the industry is a bit of a shambles, to be honest. Like, I've said this so many times before in previous videos, be that recently or years ago, the fitness industry is a bit of a shambles. And I say that for a few reasons. And the first reason kind of stems from something I mentioned in the previous Chloe Ting video. If you haven't already, I'd probably recommend watching it. It's a bit of a belter. And that stems from the fact that a lot of people don't know a lot. And a lot of people can capitalize on the fact that people don't know a lot. There are no barriers to entry in this industry. I mean, you don't even need to be qualified to start dishing out information and advice online. So you're kind of laughing with a free entry. Which also means that mass amounts of useless, irrelevant, and potentially harmful nonsense get spewed out by people who don't really know what they're doing, nor do they really know what they're talking about, but they're hoping that maybe they can make something from doing just that. And unfortunately, in a lot of cases, they actually do make something. And that something can oftentimes be fat dollar, ample followers, and die-hard fans that will defend them to the death even though they have no idea who they are. This isn't just an issue that's been lingering since kind of YouTube blew up and social media blew up. This has been an issue since magazines would push out BS 6-week ab workouts gonna make you look like Arnie. Unfortunately, BS has been selling for a long time. It's kind of moved from magazine to online, and even more of a downside is the fact that they enhance each other, i.e. people believe the crap they see online because it's been spewed in the magazines for years, and people believe the stuff they read in magazines because it's still getting pushed out online. It almost becomes like an endless cycle of circulating BS, and that's, to me, a massive issue. And one of the solutions that I can recommend regarding how to sift out what's BS and what's not is, first of all, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. That applies to many facets of life, not just fitness. And second of all, find credible sources, do your own research, see if what they're saying is actually backed up by other people of influence in the industry, or maybe online resources. I mean, the people I would always recommend for decent, informative content would be someone like Jeff Nippard, Omar Isaf, Alan Thrall, the kind of people that have been lingering for a fair while in the industry and have maintained solid values throughout their journey. But if you have anyone else that you believe dishes out worthwhile information, drop them in the comment section below, let the people know, let me know, and maybe I could do a bit of an investigation myself. And the next point I'm going to cover is likely going to piss off some people, which, despite what you believe, is not actually my intention, as of now anyway. A lot of the people you follow are liars, unfortunately. Disregarding the fact that a lot of them are pushing out BS information, which we know is a big thing in the industry, the fake natty kind of saga came around for a reason. A lot of people are claiming to be natty when they're not because it helps enhance how much BS they can sell, i.e. if you do this, you'll look like me, then you do this, you don't look like them, you feel like you're the problem, you feel bad about yourself, cycle, cycle, cycle. Just because fake natties kind of died from the content side of things doesn't mean they aren't still there. Whoever was called out for being a fake natty and was accused and was likely actually a fake natty is still a fake natty. And again, I have no issues with people who go down that route. Do whatever you want to do, it's you do you and all that jazz. Just don't claim you're something when you're not, because ultimately you're selling a lie. Similar to people who say, I look like this because I took this protein powder. Realistically, not going to do a mass amount for you. Bit of extra protein in your diet, yam a chicken breast, yam bare lentils, whatever tickles your pickle. When people are being paid to look a certain way, it's kind of in their interest to look really good. And that is made easier by potentially going down that route and taking enhancements, because then they can look really good, or actually even better, year round. Therefore, they're more marketable year round. Therefore, more dollar for them, you're more likely to buy into what they're selling, and other people are more likely to endorse them because you're buying into what they're selling. Realistically, the solution to that is if someone tells you that if you do something you will look a certain way, or maybe like them, they're probably not someone you can trust in the industry, unfortunately. Anyone who's trustworthy seems to not tell you that you can look a certain way if you do what they tell you to do. They usually just tell you, do your best, you'll see improvements. How far those improvements stem is completely dependent on the individual. And the final one's more of like a mindset thing that kind of gets to me because I've seen it all over the shop, especially when you venture in the world of like sport within the industry, i.e. bodybuilding, powerlifting, etc., etc. A lot of either bigger names or people who are trying to become a big thing in the industry or in the sport preach this mentality of if you're not giving everything to your sport, you don't deserve to do it. And they kind of enforce that you need this like unhealthy mindset to achieve greatness or achieve the best you can achieve. If you're looking at purely optimizing that singular facet of life, they may have a point. Is that additional couple of percentage benefit really worth sacrificing many other facets of life? Probably not. I mean, the harsh reality is this. If you're watching this video, you're probably not going to be the best at your sport in the world. Statistically, that's just an unfortunate truth. Does that mean you shouldn't try and become the best version of yourself, not only in the sport, but within life as well? Absolutely not. There's more to life than your chosen sport, and becoming the best version of yourself stems far beyond that. That stems into social life, mental health, work life, so many other facets of life that actually mean a lot. Life is limited, as we all know. You kind of want to go about the journey making the most of it and being as happy as you possibly can. So saying things like I'm going to sacrifice every social event just so I can become the best bodybuilder I can be, probably not the healthiest way to look at things. Realistically, you're probably going to get pretty close to becoming the best bodybuilder, for example, or powerlifter that you can be, whilst also maintaining a relatively balanced life, i.e. socializing, i.e. prioritizing building relationships, i.e. working on yourself and working on your career, things like that. As I've said many times before, because I stole it from Mark Lobliner many years ago, fitness is meant to enhance your life, not hinder it. As soon as something starts to hinder your life, you need to kind of go back to the drawing board, question why you're doing it, and reevaluate why you started doing it in the first place. I'm guilty of this myself. Even before I got into powerlifting initially, I thought I was going to be Mr. Olympia one day, and I was banking on never having to get a quote-unquote proper job because I was going to become a professional bodybuilder and make loads of money. That's not particularly realistic. Then I got into powerlifting, and I was like, it's all right. I'm just going to become the strongest dude in the world because my bench is okay, and then suddenly I'm going to get famous from doing that. 21-year-old Harry was wrong. That's a bit of a meme, isn't it? We've kind of gone back to the roots. We're bodybuilding, but we still focus on getting stronger because I enjoy getting stronger, but I really enjoy the bodybuilding training. Am I ever going to be the best competitive bodybuilder in the world? Absolutely not. Am I going to give competitive bodybuilding a crack in the future? Most likely, just for banter. But I'm well aware that if I miss a meal, it's not going to negatively impact my chances of becoming Mr. Olympia because I'm never going to become Mr. Olympia. In some cases, I think I would actually rather make memories than make the gains an extra meal on this one day would have provided me with. But anyway, that's me. If you like me rambling, 120 likes and I'll ramble some more. If you want me to ramble about someone or something, slide into my Instagram DMs somewhere here and I shall do so, add it to the list and all that jazz. But regardless, if you haven't already, which I know a lot of you haven't, subscribe to the channel, it means a lot to me. Leave a comment down below, share with your friends, share with your family, share with your dog, and thank you for tolerating the video.